We're in the Latier Peak Wilderness, and I thought it would be a great place to do a quick review of the Garmin Fenix. Now, I had the Garmin 910 XT and opted to switch out for the Fenix, so I guess I can probably give you some idea of the differences. I think if you're a trail runner that does hiking and backpacking, this is a great watch for that. If you're a triathlete, I think you're going to want to stick to the 910 XT. It's got a lot more functions for triathletes. The orange button is kind of the go-to button. It takes you to different screens if you want to start the GPS, and I'll go ahead and do that now. You can see it's locating satellites, locating them pretty fast. You can customize pages with what you want. You can see that I have a temperature page that gives you a graph, ascent, descent, mercury, battery level, time, a map, which is really just a breadcrumb trail, kind of like what the 910 XT has, a compass, an elevation with a graph, which I really like, a heart rate indicator, and then back. And then you have a button to go backwards, back to time. And if you're just in the time mode, the nice thing is you can still see. Let me get back to the time mode. Let me turn off the GPS. So I'll say stop GPS, and I'm back in time mode. And you can see that even in the time mode, I can still see heart rate, temperature. Now the cool thing about the temperature sensor is that it has a remote sensor. So I attach that to the outside of my pack and get a real good reading of what the temperature is as we hike, so I can watch for dropping temperature and dropping mercury when the storms are coming in. Kind of like what we might have coming in over there. So I really like that function. Wow, it's picking up the temperature sensor, which is probably about 20 feet away from me right now. The mercury, the elevation, and the directional. So you still have those sensors available. Now you can leave the sensors running all the time or just on demand. I have them set to on demand. If you leave them running all the time, it's going to wear down the battery. They advertise a 50-hour battery life, but that's with something called Ultra Track, which means that it samples the GPS every minute instead of every second, which is what I think the 910 XT was doing. So I have it sampling every 15 seconds right now. If I was to go out for a long run or a long hike, I would probably switch it to Ultra Track, where it's sampling only every minute or maybe every half minute to bring the battery life back up. It charges really well, I think really fast. So all in all, I think this is a great switch to a watch for me that's going to be a lot better for me as opposed to the 910 XT. And I did a review on the 910 XT previously, so you can see that on my YouTube channel as well. But the Garmin Fenix is definitely the watch for trail runners that do ultras, that also do hiking and backpacking, which I bet most of you do. I did use it in bike mode, and that's another cool thing, is it has different modes that you can use. So your bike mode is always set up for bike. You have a hiking mode, a mountaineering mode, different modes that you can use so that your data pages are set up on that. And I did use it on the bike, and it did really well on the bike. I mean, it's no substitute for my 800, my Garmin 800, but it did in a pinch when my Garmin 800 battery was out and I had to put this on. You can pair it with a speed cadence sensor. I did not do that day, but I did have my heart rate monitor on. So that's it from the Latier Peak Wilderness. Really happy with the Garmin Fenix. And it does, the other thing that it has in the watch mode, it has an alarm, it has a stopwatch, it has a timer, which the 910 XT did not have. And I can leave it on watch display without having turned it off. I noticed the Garmin XT ran out of battery pretty quick when I left it in watch display. And even with the watch off, it ran out of battery pretty quick. The 910, the battery just lasts and lasts in watch mode. I've left it on the shelf for a couple of weeks without any problem, picked it up and gone for a quick run. So, beautiful day in the wilderness. Beautiful day on the trail. That's it from the Latier Peak Wilderness.